institution and the relevant persons, and this is Mr. Xu Wei. Ms. Xu Wei, and what do you think are the highlights of this exhibition? I would like to introduce you this exhibition. The general situation of this exhibition, China's embassy, and is an important platform for promoting the Chinese art and culture. And in the new era, we have the responsibility. We will promote the culture, and we will introduce our domestic situation and the cultural exhibition and works. And in order to better express our cultural activities and works, we have held such exhibition. And our country has held the world in the artist's eyes, and the major materials are the artists and the folklores overseas, and they have expressed these ideas in different languages. They have used different techniques. We have used the Chinese ink drawings to express the daily lives of the people in Africa. And which I have a deep impression on this exhibition, and this high-level exhibition has led more excellent young artists to show up. So through the national level exhibition, we have concentrated the exhibition of the cultural works, and the China Arts Association, China Federation of Literature and Art Circles have jointly held the 7th such activity, and also it matches the One Belt One Road initiative. President Xi Jinping has said that the people-to-people exchanges are the foundation of our diplomatic relations, and this has better facilitated our work to tell better about our stories and introduce our cultural activities and folklores. We have solicited 34 works. They will be distributed to the Chinese embassies, especially the embassies along the Belt and Road, and they will have long-term exhibition. Before the exhibition was allocated to these embassies, in the blue room of the Ministry of Foreign Affairs, for the consideration that the colleagues within the MOFA and the journalists will have the first view. They will be the first to feel about these works and the spirit of the Chinese culture. And through the introduction, you may know that these exhibitions will be sent to the Chinese embassies and consulates along the Belt and Road. And this is a show-up of these exhibitions before they were sent to these embassies. And the first one is by a Chinese artist. It's called the Western Region Far, Far Away. You can see that a long journey to Western Region, and it has used the very thick colors, and which has shown the unique Chinese symbols, so that you may feel the romantic and beautiful sense of this art painting, and you may feel the splendidness of the Silk Road. Through this camera, you may see that this painting, we have adopted the rock salt and tin foil. Why we use these materials? Because they're stable. They can be kept for hundreds of years, which is a symbol that the spirit of Silk Road endure. I believe the cooperation with the countries alongside the Silk Road will also endure, and also we will feel delight with the progress of the Belt and Road Initiative. The second painting is also from the Chinese artist, Mr. Hu Hongbo. It's called Ancient Dialogue on the Silk Road. Through the camera, you may feel that this is another painting. It shows the expression of the ancient painting of China. It's a print painting. So, what architecture, what buildings have left you the deepest impression? It includes our terracotta warriors and camels along the Silk Road, and also the statue in the ancient Rome. Through this work, we want to show to the outside world that the world civilization are interconnected. With the development of the BRI, we believe that the ancient Silk Road has a new meaning, and our cooperation, and also the core to build a shared destiny for humankind. We can see that just now is the romantic Silk Road, now is the maritime Silk Road, and this painting is by Mr. Zhang Yuhui, the maritime Silk Road. It's the lacquer painting, and it is of the Chinese characteristics, which show the maritime Silk Road. We know that Quanzhou is the starting point of the maritime Silk Road in Huidong region, and the Hui'anli is also a distinctive region with Chinese characteristics, and we can see the local folk costumes, and also the Chinese people's diligence and the enduring spirits are also famous around the world. They live near the seashore because there are strong winds, so they wear such costumes with very bright colors. And we use the traditional Chinese lacquer. We use the red and orange as the basis. This shows that these ladies wearing the orange hats, and they are very vivid. This has brought us to a journey to the peak, to the height of that times. Currently, Quanzhou Port is a well-constructed city, and it has become an important city. It is an important city in the maritime Silk Road. We can see that this painting has shown the hustle and bustle of the cities. I believe that the Quanzhou city will be more splendid than before. During the exhibition, we have seen a variety of paintings. Before this, I have introduced the Chinese paintings, but later, I will introduce you other exhibitions and other works from around the world. Just now, our distinguished guest has introduced us that the China Artists Association have assisted us in this exhibition, so we have invited General Secretary of China Artists Association. Please introduce us. What are the considerations in the choice of these works? I have seen the artworks, and as if I'm seeing old friends, because these works are chosen from last year's activity jointly held by 3 organizations, including the China Artists Association, China Federation of Literary and Art Circles, and it is the showcase of the China exhibition works, and during the activity, this activity was attended by 120 countries. And the exposition today has the collection, has the works from 12 countries, from 120 countries, and this is a response to the BRI initiative, and this has also improved the height of this exhibition, and also the corridor with lots of works and paintings have enhanced the level of this activity, and many journalists have enjoyed these works, and when they have seen the works from their countries, they'll feel at home, and the people-to-people exchanges along the BRI, One Belt and Road, are the exchanges of the cultural works, and we know that the United States has the art embassy, and embassies and consulates are the windows and platforms for showing the cultural works. So when the Ministry of Foreign Affairs have the exhibitions or the cultural works for showing, and the China Artists Association will assist or give our support, and we will add something new, especially the works have the close relations with the peoples. In November 2015, we have a thematic seminar on the reservation of the cultural works and the artworks. At that time, we once thought how to better serve the art consulates and embassies, and we have believed that the choosing works from the exhibition is the best way, because we chose the works we wanted from a sea of works.
So it's really becoming part of our cultural diplomacy. And today, now we have another event, the 7th Beijing International Art Biennale, themed the Silk Road and World Civilization. So then we have artists from 102 countries around the world creating under the common theme, that is Silk Road and World Civilization. So we not only have works from Chinese artists, but also from abroad, and everybody has this kind of this joint dialogue, communicating our ideas and connecting minds. Yes, we can really feel that our embassies and consulates have these cultural programs, and that's very good for promoting Chinese culture abroad, boosting our cultural confidence and showing the world about our splendid cultural traditions. So what are the understandings of different countries regarding Chinese culture and regarding the Silk Road? So today we also have the honor to have invited the artists that really are behind these works. So now first we have our Sun Lili, Chinese artist. Can you tell us a bit about your work? So can we step aside a bit so that we can really feel the work up close? It's a very magnificent work, very large. And so what's your what's in your mind when you created this work, and what kind of messages did it carry? Thank you for this opportunity. I would like to say to exhibit my work in this exhibition in the Ministry of Foreign Affairs under the theme The Silk Road and World Civilization. And I'm also very grateful for this opportunity to have an interview with the CCTV. So my work is actually about the Quanzhou and the Maritime Silk Road. It's also called Citong City. And this work is also a response to the President Xi Jinping's initiative that he proposed, the Belt and Road Initiative, and the cooperation under the Belt and Road framework. So that's really the inspiration of this work. So what's special about this work? So actually we have a 3D dimension, and we also have incorporated time into this 4D dimensions. But these are all shown on a 2D dimension. And I want to show the vicissitude of the development of the city of Quanzhou and incorporated the stories of different vessels on the sea from different countries. Like on this end, on this bank, we have the vessel from Tang Dynasty, and then on the other end, we have the vessels in the dynasty of Ming, in the Ming Dynasty, when Zheng He, the diplomat, led a fleet of ships into other countries. We also have ships from other countries like Arab, like Spain, and many other countries. So how can you tell which ship is from Arab and which is from, other countries? Can we tell? Is there really a difference? Yes, they have different structures. You have different styles of the ships. Yes, so that means you need to really study the history. Indeed, I have been to Quanzhou visiting all the museums. I have spent a lot of time there doing research. I also interviewed the friends that specialize in this kind of painting, listening to them telling the stories. And I also learned a lot about the local culture in order to create this work. How much time did it take you? About 9 months. Yes, so that's a lot of work. You have put a lot of your feelings and thoughts into this work. So speaking of the Belt and Road Initiative, what's your understanding about this initiative? As a person that is able to create such a magnificent work, I think you have a profound understanding. Yes, when I created this work, I really wanted to show, the role of Quanzhou, the city on the maritime Silk Road. At that time, the city, as we know, has a very long history, but it also is very inclusive with diverse cultures converging here. So that is what I wanted to show to my viewers. So this painting dated back to 2,000 years ago, and at that time we started to go out to the sea, and this is a place where different civilizations come together, Asia, Europe, and Africa. They are here doing the trade with each other. So I really have this kind of imagination of this magnificent scene in my head when I created this work. Just as you said, the maritime Silk Road brought us prosperity thousands of years ago. And now, today, like this vessel, we hop on board to go on a new journey with different artists from different countries now working together or exhibiting their works together. Yes, that is really something that encouraged me, that the Ministry of Foreign Affairs started this exhibition, and I'm also grateful for them to collect my work in the exhibition. Very grateful to the Ministry of Foreign Affairs. And also, this kind of exhibition and the opportunity that I have to participate in this exhibition is a great encouragement for me as a young artist. And we also hope in future you can create even better works under the theme of the Silk Road, especially facing the Western audience, to feel our cultural appeal. Yes, after my work gets into this collection, I will have the opportunity to exhibit my work in embassies and in consulates. This is possible. So I think this also offers a great opportunity for me to help me realize the maximum value of my works. And that is also something that I could do for our diplomatic courses. Thank you. So just now we have listened to Ms. Sun. And as you can see from her perspective as a lady, what is the Belt and Road Initiative? So she just depicted to us the ancient city of Quanzhou, which was a port city. Yes, so in different cities, actually, we can see this very important traditions along the Silk Road. And so now we also have a gentleman, and let's hear from his perspective, talking about his work. And what will his work be talking about? It's called丝路or the Silk Road and its songs. So what is really behind your creation of this work? What kind of messages do you want to convey? As is known to all, the Silk Road connects the East and the West. It's a bridge. It's also a bond. From this painting, we can see that it has depicted a very grand scene. So what are some particular details that you would like to share with us? What are some highlights? When I created work, I actually paid a particular visit to Xinjiang in order to collect a lot of materials and then to further straighten out the ideas or inspiration behind this work. And I also visited the relics that still exist on the Silk Road. These relics are a witness to China's development in trade with the Western region. In the overall structure, I have adopted a special geographical terrain in Xinjiang and in the surrounding region, namely the Dansha formations. So as you can see, it's rigid. It's not like a plain or plateau. So this passage goes from the east to the west, and then on this passage, we actually have the Silk Road caravans. We have the caravels, and then when you look at the picture, you actually can feel this kind of atmosphere, and that is an illustration of the theme of the Silk Road. Thank you very much for that introduction. I think aside from the visual impression that you get, the beauty of the ancient Silk Road, you also feel what it means in a modern society. Nowadays, our initiative to build the Silk Road is actually not a solo. It is actually a symphony between China and other countries. Everyone has a say, everyone has a role to play, and we wish to hear even better symphonies in future. So in this exhibition, aside from artworks, fine artworks, aside from the sculpting, we also have this kind of exhibition, also showing the beauty of the Silk Road. So let's take a look at the beauty of Silk Road. So as you just saw, it's named A Journey Along the Silk Road. And actually, you actually see the process of using ink to paint, which is a traditional way of Chinese painting. And it also showed the process of the development of Silk Road from its establishment to its delivering benefits around the world.
Through the camera, we may see the process of the drawing. We can see the gradual process of how drawing is complete. It's about the stories of gods in ancient China. Through the music, you may enjoy the Chinese tradition. We hope through the modern methods, we may enjoy better about the cultural works, related works along the Silk Road. You may also have your own understanding about these works. We also hope that through the process of drawing, you may feel that Chinese painting has a long history.
实呢，这整个作品呢大概是有7分钟左右，但是由于时间的所限呢，简先为大家只展示到这里。那我们现在呢
The whole process takes about 7 minutes because the time is limited. I will end our watching here, so let's turn the camera to the site. Let me introduce you the following paintings, and just now through our camera we have viewed the traditional work of the One Belt, One Road. This work is from an artist from the Macau Special Administration. It's the memory of the Mirror Sea. The ancient name of the Macau is near the sea. It's like a mirror, and at that time, because there were no waves, it's like a mirror, so it's called the Mirror Sea. Macau has become a hub of trade and cultural activities between the East and the West. It's also an important port along the maritime Silk Road. Through this camera, we may see the colors on these paintings are gentle. The decoration has shown the unique characteristics of the ancient map. In the fog and cloud, can you see the whole silhouette of Macau? If you have been to Macau, you may know that normally Macau will be foggy and humid. This painting has shown the environment of Macau. This picture not only shows the natural environment, it also showcases of Macau's humanities. Now let's come to Hong Kong. For a long time, Hong Kong is an important station in China's trade along the sea, and it's called the Pearl on the Sea by a Chinese artist. It's an ink painting.
东方明珠它一大魅力其实就在于它是最早与西方世界接触的中国的地区之一。那中外文明呢在这里相互交融，因此也产生了非常独特的地区文化和人文。
Its charm lies in it's the earliest place to connect to Western countries, and it has shown its unique natural and human environment. Just now we have seen the charm of camel and also the flying apparatus. And also we can see the current situation of these joints along the Silk Road, maritime Silk Road, including Hong Kong. Hong Kong has joined in the development of BRI. Also, it has brought opportunities for its own development. During its development, under the BRI, Hong Kong, the bright pearl in the east, also has shown its charm. Let's go back to this picture. In the ink painting, the artist has integrated the Western techniques, the showcase of the light and shadow. It's grand. It has shown the magnificence of Hong Kong. Now let's move to another painting. You may have a guess. So what country does the painting come from?
其实呢，这幅作品啊，它是来自越南，名字叫做《金色往昔》。那其实呢，商旅驼队作为古代
This one is from Vietnam.
其实呢是被置于了这幅画的最中心的位置。那同时
It's about the camel team, the Nguyen Minh Tan, the golden past.
艺术家呢是采用了非常巧妙的方式，
It has a
把精
very
细的驼峰
typical
幻化
Chinese
为万里
symbols.
长城。
The artist
那也
has
是可以
unique
说是扛起了中华文明繁荣进步的
technique
重任。
to
那同时也让
make
大家可以
the
来仔细地看一
camel
下在这个画
fleet
作的中
into the
间
Great
是有
Wall.
这个白帆以及罗盘。那其实
We may have a careful look.
典型的这个象征
In the
它代
center,
表的
there are
是海上
the
的贸易
white ships. It's a typical symbol. It represents the trade on the sea.
那越南呢也是非常重视“一带一路”建设，目前呢也是积极的参与其中。在越南呢，目前也有非常多
Vietnam attach great importance to the development BRI,
具体项目。
and
那因此呢，我们
they have
也
been very
通过
active.
这些不同
Now,
国家的这种艺术家们眼中的一
Vietnam
带一路
has
可以感
many
受到大家
concrete
对于一带一路
projects
建
for
设的
cooperation
这
with
个
China
热情。
through the different
那
artists
其实
from
呢，
different
现在大
countries.
家慢慢看到的是
We can see
这
that
个
the people are
展览的有很
enthusiastic
多
on
其实呢，
joining
这一
BRI.
区域主要呢就是一些外国的
During our exhibition and in this area, we may have another look. The works are from foreign artists.
那除了绘画呢，也包括有一些非常精致的这种雕塑作品。那大家现在看到的
Apart from drawings, we can
非
see
常生动地
delicate
就呈现了当年的
sculptures.
丝绸之路的这个商队的一个形象。
This work has shown the commercial fleet during the Silk Road time.
那看完了这个雕塑，再给大家介绍一幅画。现在通过大家的镜头可以慢慢的看见。那这幅作品呢，它风格比较不一样。能感觉到它
Now
和
through our
丝路有
camera,
什么
we
样
may
的
have a
关
look
系吗？
at
可能
another
稍微比刚
sculpture,
才我
and this
看到的
one
这
is
些
has
作品
different
会更加
style.
抽象一点。
Can you guess
好
what
像目
what's
前
its
没有看见
connection
骆
with the
驼。
Silk Road? It may be more abstract
那其实呢，这幅
than
作品
the
是来
works
自
we have
法
seen.
国艺术
Currently, we
家
have seen
雷米
no
阿隆的作品。
camels.
那如果非常了解
This work
美
is
术的
from
这个
a
网
French
友呢可能
artist.
也会知道，他是法国美术家协会的主席，在世界范围内也是享有
If you have some knowledge
声誉。
about
那在
art,
中国国家博物
you
馆
may
呢
know
就有
that
收
he
藏他的作
is
品。
the president of the
那在
French
这幅画作
Artist
里面呢，它其实
Association,
重
and
点描
in
绘的
China's
是
National
中国
Art
古典
Museum,
建筑
there
之
are
美。
collections, his
用色很
collections,
大胆，不仅包括
collections of
红
his
色
works,
还有鲜艳的黄色，还有
and
绿
it
色都融合
showcases
在一幅画
the
作中。
the ancient buildings
那在画
in
面里我们
China.
看到有
They
长
have
城，
he
还有
has
大
used
红
the
灯笼，还有
colors of
这样
red
非常
and
经典的中国
orange.
元素，那也是反映出了西方人眼中的中国印象。
In the on the Great Wall, in the Great Wall, there
那
are
同时呢，还有一个
some
重点就是
big
画面
lanterns
是一面是
and
中国
the
传统
ancient
建筑的
Chinese gates, and
山
which
墙，
reflected
那
the
上面呢
impression
也
of
是
the
会有
Westerners
骑风仙人
on
和舞
China.
狮走兽。那这样的一个非常典型的中国艺术呢，也是体现出了
And
这
there
个
are
西方艺术家
ancient
对
and
中国传统
the
文化的一个了
beasts
解。
that Chinese people worship, and also this has shown the Westerners' understanding on the Chinese culture.
那现在呢，我们也是把这个镜头更多的留给我们的摄像老师，让带领大家来更多的欣赏到我们不同的作品。其实呢，“一带一路”倡议提出5周年来，
We may lead you
目前呢
to
已经成为
different
了一个
made
备受全
paintings
球
and different
欢迎的
works.
一个全球的公共
This is the 50th
那在
fifth
今年的
anniversary
两会
since
上
the
呢
initiation of BRI,
外交部长王毅也特别提
and
到说，
it has become a
一带一路是一
public
个国际合
work
作平台。
welcomed by
而在
countries
去
around the
年
world.
高峰论坛发表的
And the
联合公
Minister
报呢，
Wang Yi
也
has
是做
said
出了
that
非常
the
公开的
One
承诺，
Belt One
强
Road
调
is a
要
platform
统
for
筹好
cooperation.
经济、社会、金
And
融
last
和
year's
环境之
joint
间的关系，
communique,
同时
we
还
have
会增强项目
promised
的
that we
可持
should
续性。
coordinate economic,
那对于
financial,
一带一路未来的
social,
发
and
展，
environmental
中
development,
方是
and
对
also
表
we
示说
should
会真
make
诚地
our
欢迎各
projects
方为“一带一
sustainable.
路”建设来建言献策，
As for
同
the
时
development
共
of
同把“一带一
BRI,
路”建设好、
China
推
has
进好。
sincerely expressed
那其
our
中呢，
ideas
不仅
that we
会加
welcome all
强各国
countries
基础设施
to
的
give
应
us
对能力，
suggestions, and
也
we
会
will
开展政策规则和
press
标
the
准的
development of
沟通，
BRI.
不仅会接地气，还
we should not only improve the connection of the hardwares, but also the softwares. We should make our products tailored to the actual situations. And one important aspect is cultural exchange. This has reflected that it is the latest achievement of our cultural exchanges. I have invited some people responsible for our activity here to introduce the relevant information, and we have arranged our seats for enjoying the tea, and this has shown our traditional way of receiving the guests. Here, we have invited the Counselor of the Administration Department of Ministry of Foreign Affairs. Please introduce. Just now, you have introduced that we will send our works to the embassies and consulates abroad, and what are the considerations, especially when we hold our exhibition. And Chinese culture has a long history. It's splendid and magnificent, and it represents the unique Chinese way. It is also the origins of inspirations of our work, and the Ministry of Foreign Affairs is also the window for us to introduce our culture. The delicate works which are exhibited shown on the Blue Room may act as our business card, and the audience, also the friends from the foreign countries, may enjoy the changes in China in order to have a comprehensive understanding about China. And second, through the artworks, we can facilitate our mutual exchanges, and we attach great importance to the respect of the local cultural works. In this way, we may better show our profile as a big country. Just now, you have mentioned that there are many foreign works. A third is a business card for us to have to build better external relations. Through the unique attendance of this, through attending this exhibition, we may feel that we can go beyond the time limits and across borders. Also, the exhibition has brought us a variety of topics, and our hearts are brought together. I can take one example. In April 2017, in September, the embassy has first joined in the European Heritage Day. The activity is freely open to the public. It has attracted over 3,600 audience to go in our embassies.
So they were really attracted by the 18th century European style buildings, and they were so impressed by the respect the Chinese government has shown to the European or Western civilizations. And they also paid a lot of attention to the exhibitions of Chinese ceramics, for example, and they really like to see this kind of integration of Chinese culture and Western civilizations. Many people in France have also shown great interest in Chinese cultures and expressed their wish to personally come to China and visit China. People-to-people exchanges is a pillar of our exchanges as two countries. And this kind of cultural exchange can really facilitate our understanding. It really connects minds. And that is something that we wish to see from these art exhibitions. Yes, we are looking forward to even more cultural works shown to the world through embassies and consulates. And I haven't introduced you yet this very important guest, who is Mr. Guo Xuejun, counselor from the Ministry of Foreign Affairs, in charge of economic development. So, can you tell us a bit about the achievements we have made since we proposed the Belt and Road Initiative 5 years ago? The Belt and Road Initiative was proposed in 2013 by President Xi Jinping, so this year marks the 5-year anniversary. Looking back over the past 5 years, these are extraordinary 5 years, and also 5 years with great achievements. So I think one thing we have achieved is that we have stayed true to our mission. The original intention of proposing the Belt and Road Initiative and our mission is really to respond to the current fragilities of the world economy by promoting the interconnectivity of infrastructure and providing new growth engines for the world economy by having this platform. So over the past 5 years, personally speaking, I think we have made progress in 3 aspects. First one is practical cooperation. Actually, it's beyond our imagination. In the 5 years ago, we have cooperated in 5 major areas. So 5 interconnectivities: policies, infrastructure, trade, technology, and people-to-people exchanges. So in these 5 major areas, we have established a lot of cooperation projects that are very practical. And with the core of Asia-European cooperation, we have now established a global network for cooperation. That is one major achievement. And in this aspect, we have also provided new opportunities for economic growth in China, as well as a new momentum for world economic growth. A second important aspect is a very active response from around the world. Since the proposal of the Belt and Road Initiative, we propose the ancient Silk Road spirit of sharing, of openness and inclusiveness. This spirit has been actively responded to by around the world, participated by countries, many countries. According to our preliminary statistics, there are over 100 countries that supported this initiative, and 80 countries or international organizations have signed agreements under this framework with the Chinese government. So the Belt and Road Initiative has really shown a situation of global response, active response, although it was first just proposed by China. And this has been an important practice in international relations for all of us as well. In another sense, over the past 5 years, the Belt and Road Initiative, we can say it's a kind of Chinese wisdom or Chinese approach or Chinese contribution that we have made to the world economy. The third aspect is that we have seen the initial establishment of an international cooperation mechanism. In 2017, we held the first Belt and Road Forum for International Cooperation, participated by a lot of countries. We have managed to reach 270 outcomes, cooperation outcomes, as well as painted a blueprint for future. In the next year, 2019, we're going to hold a second Belt and Road Forum. So we will take that opportunity to continue to pull wisdom and reach consensus and push ahead with our cooperation projects. So I think this is something that China has contributed a lot to the building of international mechanism of cooperation. Yes, we have made a lot of achievements. So just now, you have said that it's a new platform for international cooperation. And now today, we are paying close attention to trade frictions between China and the United States. Maybe some countries opt for trade protectionism in today's situation. So against such backdrop, the Belt and Road Initiative, as we proposed, the collaboration, the inclusiveness, maybe it will have more importance under this backdrop, right? And the active response we're seeing from other countries also show this, right? Yes, so the core concept is that we need to work together under the Belt and Road Initiative. This is in line with the overall development trend of the globe. And in practice, China has always adhered to sharing, consultation, and joint development, common development. That is our principle. We are championing an open, inclusive, and mutually beneficial world economy. So for world economy, we want to seek the common growth engines and want to make the cake or the pie bigger. Trade protectionism, just as President Xi Jinping said, actually is putting yourself into walls, behind walls. Well, we are pushing ahead with the Belt and Road Initiative because we wanted to see an open economy, we want to see a win-win situation. And this has won warm response, active response from other countries. And this really illustrates that the win-win situation, win-win cooperation is still the mainstream trend around the world. So I think that this initiative is not just in line with our own national interests, but also in the interest of the global economy. As the second largest economy in the world, China wants to play a positive role and sending positive signals around the world, and that's where we want to contribute. So just as you said, China is sticking to its own strategy of development, but at the same time, we stress the importance of staying open and being inclusive. This initiative really wants to share our opportunities for development so that we can benefit other countries and toward the establishment of a new kind of international relationship. So on the one hand, we want to share development opportunities, just as President Xi said. We welcome you to hop on board this fast traveling train of Chinese economy. So we want to share this growth momentum with you. But it's not just a simple or a very simple way of just giving out. We actually want to provide you with better infrastructure. Just as people from Laos said, Laos wants to join in the Belt and Road Initiative because we want to boost interconnectivity. In the past, we are an inland country. We were in an inland country, but with better infrastructure, we can go out and welcome the world in to our world, or to our country. So that is really a way to share development opportunities. And on the other hand, we want to jointly seek new growth momentum and new opportunities for world economic development with our other countries. So thank you for that very detailed introduction. And as we listen to him, we have also got a better understanding of the status quo of the Belt and Road Initiative. And from what he said, we can feel very strongly the obligation of China in promoting a better and open and inclusive world economy with sustained efforts. So this exhibition we will stop our introduction for a while, but now we're going into the blue room, which is used for press release. So now the center we are in is called Foreign Journalists Center. It's about 270 square meters. So this place is used for as a place for lounge or for exchanges for foreign journalists here. So you can see a lot of books in Chinese, in English, and in other languages. Most of these books are about China's development and China's policies. So through this kind of space, we really want to enable foreign journalists to have a better understanding about China's development, and so that they can report on China in a more realistic, in a way that is true and reflects the reality. And this shows our confidence in our own development. Now we are going into the blue room that is usually used for press release. And from Monday to Friday, every day, we will have press releases at the Ministry of Foreign Affairs. Now there is one press release that is about to begin, so we're still seeing people, staff preparing for this press release. Let's take a look around.
那这个蓝厅呢，整体呢，大家可以感受到呢，其实也是象征着这种开蓝厅呢，总共是大概1米，那有和观众席
The blue room represents openness. We have many spaces. Some are seats, and in other areas people can stand when they watch the press release. You can also have visitors' seats. So in every press release, you have common people here listening to the press release. And that really gives you the opportunity to get first-hand experience with China's diplomacy and diplomatic policies. That is something that really shows the openness of our diplomacy. So you can see now, in the blue room, you can see the backdrop of the stage. Actually, it's designed by Chen Yan, a very famous designer that has designed for many times the Spring Festival Gala and other major events. So we have a simultaneous interpreting service with 6 languages. And the speech of the spokesperson will be translated into English, and the questions proposed by the journalists will also be translated into Chinese by the simultaneous interpreters. Well, I think you might wonder how long time will a press release usually take. Well, currently we are seeing a lot of journalists preparing for the press release. So today's press release will start around 3 o'clock. We are drawing closer and closer to the opening of the press release. So welcome you to have a closer look with CCTV about China's diplomacy through press releases. Thank you.